Welcome everybody to another episode of Henny Goes Outside. We're back out in the Miller Basin area. You guys should know that this was going to be coming at some point in time during the nasty cold weather and all that. This is my favorite spot to be at. This particular campsite is overlooking this nice little mountainous area. We brought the hot tent again for another night out, but this time we do have a new piece of equipment to go with it. For those of you that actually maybe seen the post I put out last weekend, you would know what that is. But once I get everything set up, we'll show you for the official, I guess, unveiling of what it is. But we're gonna try to set up a spot right here for the tent, and we're gonna overlook that mountain area. But yeah, it's currently sunny and bright outside right now, but all of that is supposed to change later on tonight, but we'll see how accurate the weather predictions are. Anyways, I'm gonna get set up and then we'll come on back and probably make a hot drink because it is a little chilly out here right now. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed my view. Gave you guys a nice little peek of it sitting here. This thing's doing a pretty decent job because whenever I'm in here next to it, it's definitely getting my legs warmed up. It's melting the snow around here. Even my poor attempt at trying to get the snow on the snow skirt is starting to melt, and actually it's turning into a good thing because now that it's melting, it's getting a little bit heavier, so it's keeping that wind on that side from coming in. This side's kind of a lost cause at the moment. The whole hope is that whenever it does start snowing, it'll just naturally get me a nice little layer there to help block the wind. Yeah, I initially started the video up, or I guess I thought I had started the video up and I was talking and I didn't record some stuff. We're going to go ahead and make a nice warm drink. We're going to make a coffee here. Part of me is mad because I forgot to put the ash box in the right configuration for this. There's a little box for the pellets that, like, it goes down. It's like down if you're putting wood in this bottom part to use, and then you can fold it up and it catches all the ashes from the pellets and allows you to use the oven part of it, which we're not using the oven, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, it's just like you can see everything kind of falling through. That was a little user error. We'll fix that next time. Currently, with this thing sitting back here just slightly behind it, it's 45 degrees inside the tent. Outside is currently 30. I have the other gauge sitting in the back of the truck, so it's not getting any of that wind effect or anything like that. So obviously with the wind, it's a little bit cooler. I should have taken this out first. Okay. Tonight, for dinner, I'm going to make a little pot of chili. It's soup season, so I'm hoping to make a pot of chili big enough that I can finish it all and not have to worry about taking any home. But that remains to be seen. I'm probably going to have some to take home. I don't know why I keep that sponge in there. I finally took the bowls out of this thing. So yeah, we'll do dinner a little bit later. We're gonna basically use this for everything tonight. I did bring a stove in case, something happens and it's not working the way that it's supposed to or that I want it to or whatever you would like to say for it. But let's move this. Let's put this in the back. We'll save that for the inside the tent filming because it has a wider angle on it than what my main camera here does. When I boiled some water on this the other day, last week, it boiled pretty quick. I threw it on there and I had some snow and stuff like that was still on the sidewalk. And it had it boiling really fast. Smells good. And of course the little tie fell off. You know what? This time we'll do two. See what happens to it. Okay. All right, and then like last time, we'll do a pour over. Let that drain down. Oh shoot, where's the stopper? Guys, I did that backwards. Oh, I just screwed that up. I just fucked that up. Where's the stopper? Excuse me, sir, you are using your coffee wrong. How much of this can I save? All of it. We just gotta make sure we wash that out. I done gone and screwed up, guys. Forgot to take out the stopper. To quote Homer Simpson, "Don't!" Now we'll use the rest of this to rinse off the top of that. Man, that is not a lot of coffee in there. It's okay. I don't need a whole lot of coffee anyways. All right, let's do the initial test. Smells good. Really hot. Don't taste the caramel. Maybe it doesn't help that I just had a sip of the Sprite before I did that. All right. Okay. All right. I think I have this configured in a way where I'm going to be able to be in here in the screen, in the picture. We also got the stove here in the picture as well. Unfortunately for that camera back there, the big one, I don't have a wide angle lens. So if I were to be doing this with that camera in here, you would either just be getting this or just get my face because it can't focus everything in. So we have the action camera here, and we have it on a widescreen setting, so it's getting myself and the stove, the best I can. Like I said, we're doing chili. Here's the ground beef. It's actually still a little on the, it's not frozen, but there's still like a little bit of ice in there. Ooh, we almost lost a little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that in here. Ziploc this off. I guess now's as good a time as any to add that to a trash bag, which has a hole in it. It's like nice and chilly over in this little area, like behind me, which you can't see because of the camera, but yeah, it's getting dark outside. Still haven't seen any snow. So we're waiting for that to kick in. Hopefully it snows. That's all I'm hoping for. The whole reason why I chose this spot, and I was basically been checking the weather all week. It said that this place was going to snow. It was going to get the most snow out of all the places that I was looking at. Basically, it's supposed to snow all over Pennsylvania. I think they have a inclement weather warning there as well as here. We're trying this Dano's taco seasoning. When I looked to see what was in it, it's basically everything that I would use to do chili, plus a few things. I don't typically use oregano, rosemary, cilantro, or lemon peel. But everything else in here I pretty much would, with the exception of salt. I don't usually add salt to anything. The only thing I'll add salt to is if I have a raw tomato or some cottage cheese. Otherwise, I pretty much go with whatever the salt is in there already. So here we go. We already got the sizzle. We're probably gonna have to keep an eye on this. I imagine it's gonna cook everything quick. It's gonna cook everything quick, and we gotta make sure it doesn't stick. Ooh, that is warm. That is warm. Smells good. All right, let's add a little bit more to this. But yeah, like for the most part, like when I make chili and I use the ingredients I have at the house, or I use like my own mixture, I usually use chili powder, onion powder, garlic powder, paprika, I'll do an ancho chili powder to kind of spice it up a little bit, some cumin, and that's it. If I'm feeling extra spicy, I'll add some fresh jalapenos to it, which I did buy some, but I'm not going to do that with this because it would also probably give me indigestion. But we'll bring you back here in a few minutes, and when I start adding in the additional stuff. All right. Before we add in the next little bit, I just want to see what this seasoning tastes like real quick. Not too shabby, I guess. All right. Now, when I make chili, I don't do anything super difficult. I do tomato juice, which I found this 12-ounce can, which I think is perfect for this pot. So we're gonna crack that, add that in. All right. I'm actually surprised I found that. I thought I was gonna have to buy a big old one. I usually use like these Bush's chili beans that are usually pre-seasoned. I didn't realize when I initially bought these they didn't have a pull top on them, so we found ourselves a $2 can opener. So we're gonna add that whole content in there. Did it? Yes, we did. All right, let's see where we're at with that. That initial little bit. Because like I said, I'm not trying to. Okay, I think we're just gonna do that. I had one more can of beans that I could put in there if I needed to, but I don't think I need it. Throwing some more seasoning. Probably put in too much of that. Yeah, that probably doesn't show up in there, and I don't want to spill it, but all right, what we're gonna do now is just kind of let it simmer for a little bit. Normally when I do chili, I usually do it in a crock pot. So I'll let it sit around for a few hours. Let all those flavors blend in with each other. Alright folks, we're back. Chili got to simmer for a little bit. We're adding our finishing touches here. I love me a nice little bit of cheese inside of my chili. I'm going to actually set this on this mat. Since I do plan on eating all of this right now, I'm just going to go ahead and add this to the pot just so that way it's just one. We're just going to have to worry about one dish to clean up later on. Or I guess technically two. Load in the cheese. Alright, we'll start with that. Throw in a few crackers. I don't know, some people like soupy chili. I like really thick chili. But I like it to start out soupy and then have it get thick because of the stuff I add into it, such as the cheese and the crackers. Oh yeah, we need some more cheese. More cheese. Yeah. Dang, a couple pieces fell on the ground and I can't pick it up. They're breaking apart. You know what? They might have the cheese consistency, maybe. Ask my wife how I do this stuff all the time. I usually have a little chili with my crackers and cheese. All right, let's give this a shot. Chili. Gosh, it's gonna be hot. I know it's gonna be hot. Well, not as hot as I imagined, but it's still warm. Look at that, drippy cheese. I didn't get any on that one. There we go. Some string, some pull, some cheese pull. That's how we like it over here. Overall, pretty good. That taco seasoning from Dano's isn't bad. Those guys should sponsor me by now, because between that and a couple other seasonings I've used, it's like a pretty good go-to. All right, guys, I'm going to enjoy my chili, and then I will bring you on back once I get done with this. Welcome, everybody. This is the part where we would normally do a campfire talk, but I didn't bring any wood for a campfire tonight, so we'll call it a fireplace talk. This is the last video of 2025, if my calculations are correct. So as we're ramping up here to the end of the year, Merry Christmas for those who celebrate Christmas. Happy Hanukkah for those who celebrate Hanukkah. I believe Kwanzaa is also around this time of year. If I missed your holiday, happy whatever holiday that might be. And then to get in a Seinfeld reference, happy Festivus to the rest of us. 2025 was a pretty good year. Got a happy, healthy little baby boy, or I guess he's a toddler now, running around the house, getting into things. Seems to be, a pretty smart little fella. Let's see. We've gotten the channel's been picking up some momentum as well. So looking forward to the next year of posting videos and, going outside. As of right now, I think we'll do a little countdown. I initially started making a list of things I wanted to count down and got sidetracked and basically just left at music. So I'll give you my top 3 albums of the year. Not that you probably really care, but as a person that typically dabbles in the hard rock and metal scene and stuff like that, my 3 favorite albums this year were Violent Nature by I Prevail. That one came out a little bit late in the year. I had to double check to make sure this one came out in 2025, because I didn't buy it until like halfway through the year. But Tsunami Sea by Spirit Box. And then really the only other album I've talked about on the channel that was my favorite one was Deftones' Private Music. To me, that was something very similar to their Diamond Eyes album in terms of me listening to it and enjoying it. So yeah, I was really excited, and I love that album. College football playoffs have a little bit of controversy with Notre Dame not making it, but they played a bunch of cupcake teams, it seems like. Also, somehow a 3-loss Alabama team made it in. I'm not a big fan of the expanded college football playoffs. I wish they would just stick with 4 people or 4 teams. Also, just in general, college football, I've kind of kind of lost interest in it because it seems to be like an NFL, but you know, like probably like more like a, it's like NFL, but people they just leave more. It's easier to leave than it is like an NFL team, like an NFL player. Like, you play for Texas this year, you don't like it, you can go play for Alabama next year, or UCLA offers you more money, you can go play for them. People just move, and like you can't really. It seems like it's hard to build a program for anybody. And then also like with the expanded playoffs, like there's teams that probably don't really deserve to be there that are there, but they're probably going to get destroyed in that first game. But hey, I guess to each their own. Um, yeah, I mean, I've been pretty lucky this year. To kind of circle back to that, I'm excited for everybody that has joined me on this. Can't wait to see what the next year brings. As of right now, for the weather for this particular camp, I'm still waiting to see if it's going to snow or not. It's currently 7:17, and outside of the snow that was already on the ground, I haven't seen anything new out there. I'm hoping we get a little bit, but I guess time will tell. Nothing else. We're breaking this in. Currently, it's 54. The water that got on this earlier messed up the outside temperature, so I don't really know what it is out there. Maybe 23, 28, something like that. I don't know. But the screen on that's messed up, so I don't know what it is out there anymore. And I doubt taking out the batteries and restarting it will do anything. We'll see though. Yeah, nope, didn't do anything. Anyways, that chili hit the spot. It was just enough to fill me up. I do have to go outside at least one more time. I even have to go get the other bag of pellets. I did fill this up again, and I don't think it's gonna. I didn't bring the instructions with me to figure out like how to do all the tunings to make it so like low is low and high is high and stuff like that. Well, I mean, high is pretty easy. Just turn it to max and then crank that thing all the way up. But to do like medium high, medium low, and stuff like that, I don't have the instructions to give me the full breakdown on that. So I'm going to bring the other bag of pellets in here, and if I need to fill it up again during the night, I will. But it is nice that I know I can go at least like 3 or 4 hours without having to do anything with it. But yeah, I'm just gonna chill out and relax for the rest of the night. If we get any snow, I will definitely bring everybody back so we can see it. But as of right now, we're just hanging out. The wind has died down quite a bit compared to what it was whenever it was daylight out and I had the door open and all that. But yeah. Cheers. Happy New Year. Happy holidays. And we'll see you in 2026. Actually, no, I'll see you tomorrow, but you know. Guys, it finally started snowing. Sitting here watching some YouTube videos, and I started hearing the gentle sounds of snow hitting the tent. So yeah, needless to say, I went out there real quick so I could grab this bag of pellets that I know I'm going to need later on tonight. Also took out some food items that I have brought in here that I don't necessarily need at this time. But yeah, take a look at what this initial snowfall is looking like. All right, so that's the start of it right now. I'll keep you guys posted if any accumulation or anything happens. Other than that, I'm gonna get back to watching some YouTube videos here and staying in the nice warm tent. All right, quick little update. If I were to go out there and talk about the accumulation of snow at this moment, currently 10:30. It's probably been snowing. I think it started around 7:30, 7:45, somewhere in there. So we've been going for about 2.5, almost 3 hours now. Got probably about a half an inch of accumulation, but you hear it's still going. But I went out there, took a look at everything, refilled the hopper on the stove. Apparently it's 50 degrees in here. Not too bad. I don't have that thing cranked up on high or anything like that. I did put up the mesh screen to keep the snow out from where the stove pipe hole there. Before I came in here, there was some water that I wiped up using this towel here. So that'll keep the snow out and the heat in, or keep on allowing the heat in. But yeah, I'm gonna go to bed. I'll see you all in the morning. Good morning, everybody. As you can see from the video there, a bunch of snow got in under that portion of the tent that doesn't have like a snow flap or anything like that. Also, I'm not exactly sure what happened, but for some reason the stove cooled right on down. There's still a flame going with it, but for some reason it just isn't producing the type of heat we're looking for here. I don't know if it's because maybe I didn't clean out the ashes before going to bed and they accumulated too much, so it's affecting the airflow in there, or just because of the fact that it's been windy, and I don't know if like any downdrafts have been coming through the pipe and affecting the flame or what. But luckily I brought the good old Echo Park sleeping bag, because it's nice in here. Even brought my gloves in here with me to help warm those up. Not looking forward to putting my boots on. Yeah, I think when it comes to packing up, we're just gonna get what we can, put the things in the bin that need to go in a bin, and then the tent itself and everything else, the flooring that I use and all that, we're just going to shove that in a bin and take it home, and hopefully sometime this week it's above freezing so it can dry. Anyways, I guess I should probably get moving, huh? right, that's another episode of Henny Goes Outside wrapped up. I want to thank everybody for stopping by. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button. Give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, any of that stuff. As I had mentioned earlier, I do have an Instagram page that is in the channel description, and I'm going to start adding it into the video description as well. So on my way out of here, you know, if I find anything that catches my eye, I'll take a picture of it. So, you know, be sure to check it out if you like landscape pictures. Once again, thank you, and I'll see you all in the new year.